Good morning, everybody. Got a new package from my friends from Megabass today, so I figure I might as well share it with you guys since you guys seem to dig it. Let's see what we got in this month's edition of Mail Call. Alright, we got some pretty cool goodies in here. This is a order straight from Megabass Japan that I placed. And right off the bat, man, we're gonna go into an item that I've been pretty hyped on and trying to get my hands on for quite a while. You know, we all work really hard to have nice gear, so we do our best to keep it looking nice. And you know, I could always be better at it, but I'm gonna do a pretty good job of keeping my gear in tip-top shape. And right there is one sweet reel cover from Megabass. We've been thinking about stocking these MOJ Megabass of Japan items on the BigBassDreams store. Items like this that you can't really find anywhere else. So leave a comment below. What do you guys think? You guys want to see some of this cool stuff in the store? We'd like to hear some feedback before we jump into it, but look at this sick leather case. Got the red bottoms. What you know about that, ladies? Nice leather pouch. Classic. That's sick. Made in Japan, of course. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good size. I might be able to get a Conquest 400 in this. The Laudas will fit no problem. All the other low profile stuff should fit no problem. The Conquest 200s, 250s. So yeah, we'll check that out. That's pretty dope. So I got a nice little stash of those. Throw that back in the box. And you know, when you come up from the bottom, like I did, you really truly appreciate the nicer things in life, and that includes fishing tackle. You know, it's something I've come not to take for granted, and I'm gonna do my darndest to keep it looking nice. All right. What else we got here? Ooh, this is sick too. So those of you that follow my Instagram and all the other social media outlets may have seen us rocking this sick hybrid hoodie. I've been wearing mine out, so figured I better get another one. Just a super clean techie hoodie. Zip up, never jam on me. Got this sick side pocket I always use to put my money clip in so I never lose it. You know, I wear sweats a lot, so you guys that rock sweats might know the struggle of having stuff fall out of your pockets, whether it's at the theater, in your boat, in your truck. So that's always this is one of my favorite sweaters that isn't a BigBassDreams hoodie, just because of the security of that pocket right there. But man, it's clean. I rock this everywhere. Daily travels, around town, on the water. Sick hoodie. Once again, one of those Megabass Japan only items. I think retail on this thing is about $200, so they're not cheap, but super sick. Anybody wants a custom order one of these, we might do a pre-order. Let us know. Comment below, man. I mean, it's obviously not cheap, but especially with this brand, I think you guys have seen, you get what you pay for. Super sick. I'm pumped to have a backup. And just to let you guys know, this is sized for the Japanese market. So normally in the US, I wear a medium. In this jacket in particular, I rock a large. Makes me feel good about myself. All right, got that stuff out of the way. Now let's get into the fun stuff. Boom. Hard to be a Megabass fan and not become a jerkbait aficionado. These guys just have the hard bait game on lock. And one of the newer items over the last couple seasons is this Kanata. Oh my goodness. This thing is sick. But what's special about these Kanatas, this is a saltwater version Kanata. So when I take this out of the box here, you guys are going to see that it comes with different hooks. Saltwater friendly. Obviously you striper guys are familiar with this color pattern. Redhead, clear translucency. See the body balancer system in motion there. But I've actually done really well on the local inshore scene on the one saltwater Kanata I could find on eBay. So I had to just jump on it and get me some more. These hooks are super sticky, super sharp. You know, I fished with Ben Florentino at Catalina a week or two ago, and the fishing was super tough. I mean, super tough. It was the day after a big storm rolled through. There's a little bit of residual swell, but like, frankly, there just wasn't anything going on. But the few bites that I was getting came on both the Kanata and the Marine Gang 140. Let's just say some of the other baits were not getting bit at all. So super pumped on that. Now that I'm back in Southern California for a little bit of time, I'm gonna try and get out and do some striper fishing too. That right there is the deal. MOJ only, once again. Look at this sick color. GG Gold Lime Rainbow. Man, that's straight out of the Rainbow Bridge right there in Long Beach, people. Right by the Aquarium of the Pacific. That thing is sick. You know, all you local inshore saltwater guys here, all you guys that throw plastics growing up, that lime green, man, there's something about it. They eat that up. I've never seen a color combo like this. That's super sick. You guys kidding me right now? One of the cool things about all the MOJ, and that's an abbreviation for Megabass of Japan, that I love is that, you know, it's hard to get. It's not easy to find. So I get to show these fish baits that they've never seen before, literally. And you know, when I come from an area that gets a ton of pressure, like Southern California does, and even in the saltwater scene now, having something different, you know, something they haven't been conditioned to, can make the difference between a good day and a great day, or a bad day and a good day. And oh man, this is the kind of stuff that we kind of want to offer you guys potentially through the BigBassDreams store. Look at this thing. GG Akakin. I know I'm butchering the names and how you pronounce them, but that right there, you know, for the calico bass guys, golden brown bait was a staple growing up for me as a kid. Look how sick that color pattern is. You rip this thing, stop and go, straight retrieve this in the kelp. Now I'm gonna get some nice bass on this thing. But also, there's also a crossover appeal for me. You know, this is a similar color pattern that I used to do really well in. That's similar to the King Kiro, which is the black back, gold sides, orange belly. And I did really well on that color pattern on overcast and low light condition days, rainy days. This thing is not very far off, so definitely time and a place where I would throw this particular saltwater version jerkbait for freshwater bass. That's a sick color right there. Let's see what else we got. GLX Blue Pink Rainbow. Another Rainbow Bridge inspired color scheme. Those of you guys that don't know, the Rainbow Bridge spans right across one of the popular saltwater lawn tramps in Long Beach. But look at that bad boy. That's straight off of Santa Monica Boulevard. Pink belly, some micro glitter, rainbow finish on the sides, and that old popular blue. You know, funny story, growing up, one of my favorite baits was a chrome rattle trap. And if you guys remember, the two predominant colors are a chrome blue blackback and a chrome blueback. Well, it's funny because growing up, I could not stand fishing the blueback. For whatever reason, that got in my head, and I was like, oh, dude, that doesn't look real. Fish aren't gonna bite that. And over the course of the years, and watching my buddy Pete MF Lyons in Austin, he was fishing that Depths 250 in that ugly blueback color, and man, he mopped them up. You know, and a lot of guys like fishing that Aurora Pro Blue. You know, it's really proven to be a solid color scheme for all kinds of fish, and it's kind of grown on me, to be honest. So I'm pretty pumped about that one. Yeah, this is 160 millimeters. This is the biggest jerkbait offering in the Megabass hardbait lineup. And I don't care what anybody says, man. The old adage tends to hold true for me. Big bait, big fish. Always an exception to the rule, but it's hard to really argue that. Look at this one. GG Chartreuse back rainbow. Oh, sorry guys, a little early in the morning still. Gotta get some coffee. Look at that. Nothing needs to be said about that bad boy. Chartreuse back, orange belly. You know where this is gonna really shine though, guys, is honestly, I'm pumped to throw this around big smallmouth. They're gonna clobber this thing. This is a real similar color scheme to the Chartreuse back eye slide 185 that I like throwing for those big smallies and I've caught fish on. And here's one of the big differences and what you guys are gonna see on this channel versus all the other channels, right? I've seen dudes watch us on the water, catch fish doing something or expose something to them. Next thing you know, they've got a how-to video on something they haven't actually done themselves. And they don't understand all the subtle nuances that come into play to create those successes. And honestly, as a fisherman, it kind of irks me because how are you going to give advice on something you haven't done, let alone know anything about? So, you know, this is going to be a little bit different channel. You know, we're gonna back up all these, you know, lure reviews, all the information with proven, you know, concepts. And you guys are gonna see that in all the video. You know, we're gonna talk about these baits, but we're gonna go out there and actually do it. You know, and having these kind of tools at our disposal, that's a huge part of it. You know, what we do is not easy. You know, traveling the country, there's a lot of pressure to keep producing for you guys. You know, catching big fish is not something you can just easily replicate across the country. You know, we can't just pull it out of the hat. frankly, the fact that it is hard is, you know, it's really the only reason why it's impactful. Oh, sorry about that. So anyway, off that little mini rant, that right there, I think, wraps up the Kanata selection. All saltwater edition colors, all Japanese market only for now, unless you guys want to see this stuff, you know, through BigBassDreams. Look at that. Gosh, man, those are some sick colors. Super pumped on those. I'm gonna call up all my boys and get back out there. Alright. What else do we have here? Check out those goods, guys. Cranking is one of my favorite ways to catch bass. Straight up. You know, before I had all those fancy electronics, before I even had a boat, do you know what my fish finder was? It was a crankbait typically, or a jig, or my Texas rig bullet weight. You know, that tactile feel, the sensations, transmitting the vibrations from the different kinds of bottom composition. That's how I figured out how a lake set up, how a spot set up. This was my depth finder. This was my fish finder back in the day. Okay, even just a couple seasons ago, my fish finder was down on my Hobie. Do you know how I found my offshore spots? By cranking it. I could tell where the sand stopped, I could tell where the rocks began, I could tell where the drop off was, the rock ledge I wanted to fish, all that stuff. And that all came from old school feel from fishing a deep diving crankbait. And once again, we have a Japanese only strike chartreuse color and the Deep Six. This is the deepest diving offering from Megabass, and is honestly one of my favorite baits in the entire lineup. And it's interesting because I see less and less people really embracing the deep diving crankbait technique, especially even in my own circle. You know, guys just can't really put together the confidence to keep throwing a deep diving crank. So I think it's going to be time for us to do some tackle breakdown and maybe some how-to videos on how I like to use this particular bait. But that is a sick color scheme right there. Little off color water, low light condition. That right there is the deal. I've been fishing this color in a couple of the shallower baits, like the DX Free series, and I've honestly just fallen in love with it. Those of you guys that like fishing Clear Lake might want some of these. Just saying. And just like everything else in this box today, if you guys wanna, you know, have access through it, let us know. We're not gonna bring it in the store if you guys aren't gonna want it. That's badass. First Deep Six right there. And you know, the thing about deep cranking, guys, is it's a year-round technique. And I used to think it was a summertime only. Got some more backup strike chartreuse there. You guys know how I like to roll 3s and 4s in my favorite baits. Bam, look at that. Yeah, year-round technique. This is the PM Sunshine Gill. And that's something I had to learn over the years, you know, growing up and fishing the team tournament stuff here in Southern California. And a lot of the team circuits would start in late November, early December. And for us, you know, that used to be like the coldest time of the year for us. December, maybe into January. And these guys on Castaic, man, that I fish with and against, I would see them going down the bank with their trolling motor on high, just covering water. And I'm just like, dude, I'm sitting here soaking my jig and my soft plastics and catching fish. But these dudes were seriously just blazing down the bank, you know, in high 40 degree water, low 50s, and for us that's cold. And at the end of the day, man, those guys are finishing in the top, you know, out of 50 boats or whatever, which at the time that used to be a pretty good draw. These guys would have, you know, 18 to 23 pounds, and man, I saw a lot of them throwing a crankbaits, a lot of them throwing a mid-sized swim bait, but they're fishing fast, and they're really just you know, triggering reaction bites from shallow fish. And that really taught me early on that you can fish reaction baits year round, because once again, it's a reaction bait. You're really just getting them to react to it and make one instant mistake, and boom, hopefully they got you, or we got them, I mean. You know, and I ordered these in anticipation of an early pre-spawn, late winter, early spring deep crankbait. I want to be like Mike Long when I grow up. I want to catch giant bass on all kinds of stuff, you know, and that's still a puzzle that we're piecing together on the daily. My goodness, look at that thing. And once again, that Megabass attention to detail and craftsmanship, the finish, all that inspires confidence. But what should really inspire confidence is how much time and effort they put into testing and designing these baits to perform. You know, there are a lot of brands out there, especially over in Japan, that are absolute works of art, but there's no function to them. You know, they look so good, but they catch no fish. And for what we're doing, all you guys watching, us on this end of the camera, you know, we gotta catch fish, and we gotta catch big ones. And these are the tools right here that we utilize to make that happen. So super pumped on that color scheme. What else we got here? Yep, there's my rule of threes. Got backups for my backup. In case we get on a good bite, man, you don't want to be caught red-handed and short. Alright. You guys have seen the damage we've done on this bad boy right here. And that's the Draft Swimbait from Megabass. Both stock rigged with the treble hook and magnet system, fishing up high in the column. Deadly bait. This is a silver shad color. Once again, JDM only. Unless you guys tell us you want otherwise. We are considering carrying all this cool stuff in the store for you. Man, I'm pumped. You know, this is a color scheme that we've done really well on everywhere. You can't go wrong with that black back, you know, translucent. There's a little bit of holographic prism inside the belly there, catch some light. We've got pike, muskie, smallmouth, largemouth, Sacramento pike minnows. They love this bait. Super sick. But, you know, overall, great bait fish imitation. Shad, white bass, tullibees, ciscos, kokanee, you know, small stalker trout, which are a lot of times very, you know, silvery in color. Alright, there's the deal. We got a bag of survival jigs here. Now, a lot of you guys that aren't familiar with the Megabass brand don't even realize they make all this stuff. And one of the strengths of this brand, honestly, is how much different quality tackle they make across the board, including jigs, but most of it is available through Japan only. You know, and this is a survival jig. This is one of my favorite flipping and pitching jigs for heavy cover. They come in 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce, 3/8, and 3/4, and it's got unique head design here that comes through brush and grass really well. You know, put on your favorite trailer. A lot of times it's a bottle shrimp or a bat and fly craw trailer, but this stuff flipping in all the wood, all the freshly flooded brush in Northern California that we got last spring. Big premium quality hook. We got some nice fish fishing this stuff. And all the popular colors here, really, you know, whatever that says. But you know, this is pretty much black and red. We've got a kind of a watermelon green pumpkin color here. Clear water situations, in and around grass. Straight black red right there. Got that June bug style color that goes perfect with the June bug bottle shrimp. A little kind of camo style color here. Couldn't tell you what that is, but other than sick. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this month's Megabass to Japan mail call order here. Excited to get this stuff fishing, you know, but also excited to help you guys get your hands on this stuff. So if any of these items interest you guys, leave a comment. Tell us what exactly it is you'd like to see available through the BigBassDreams store. And then, you know, we'll see what we can do in getting this stuff over here to the States and into your hands, so you guys can chase the Megabass dreams. If you guys need a mug, they're available in stock now. We got some new lids on the way. Boom. Y'all already know. Always has been, always will be. Because we all out here chasing the dream.